Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Free Tip Scout, and we are going to be doing a lot here today around Sorare and also Pookie. So it's going to be a really interesting stream. We need to continue our Road to Glory Pauper Podium series. This is episode 27, and we need to do a little bit of a rebuild with our Road to Glory because we are lacking quite a few players. We sold quite a few players as part of last week's fire sale. So if you missed that stream, you can find that on my Twitch channel. It's basically a stream where I was essentially giving away my cards. I wasn't technically, but we were kind of selling a lot of my cards in the limited scarcity because I'm in the process of trying to transition more into rare. And as part of that sale, we sold quite a few of our Pauper the Podium players. Now, we need to do a bit of a rebuild today. And I think specifically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to find well, actually, this is what we're going to be doing, right? We're not going to be trying to find. We are actually just going to buy players that are no more than 60p. So every single person, every single player that we pick up here today for our RTG Pauper Podium, we're going to try to get for 60p or less. And the reason we're trying to do that is that it just gives us so much upside in the future. Because if we buy for 60p or less, then we pretty much can't not trade up from them. What we've seen in the past a little bit is that we've picked up some great players for pretty cheap, but then we've struggled to sell them on because their prices have actually dropped a bit. So by buying at the absolute floor price, we really can't not sell. We can at least get our money back. Plus, there's loads of great players that you can actually pick up now for 60p in the game. And I think we're going to be trying to focus on getting like a European contingent in our squad because we don't really have many European players anymore, and this is probably the right time to start like building for Europe for next season. So that's going to be the main focus of today. We're also going to be jumping over to Pookie as well, which if you don't know Pookie, there's a big drop happening on Pookie today. So this is a chance for you guys to get some Pookie balls so that you can actually start to predict on football scores and then actually start earning some money every single week. We're going to be returning to Pookie a little bit later. So I'll be showing you guys how to play it, explaining a little bit more about those stats are too bad. As in, like, if we picked up this guy, we are really then just relying on him getting an assist here in order for him to score good. And that's probably what we're seeing actually when we look at his scoring graph here. Look, when he gets an assist, he scores good. When he doesn't get an assist, he's going to struggle to score good. He's done it here. Most likely because he done good attacking, yeah, because of all of those big chances that he's been creating. So he was probably unlucky to not get an assist here. And probably it's going to be the same here. So if we look at this and we look at his attack, yeah, look at that. His attack is 19.5. But then his defensive stats are going to be low. Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem, really. A little bit of a problem because this is the type of player that you can't really rely on to give you regular, consistent scores of 60 points or more. Not really. And especially given that he's losing a lot of possession a lot of the time, it means that he has these big swings, right, in his scoring. And when he does get a decisive, right, because he's not doing enough defensively, and then he's losing a lot of possession, it means that his AA scoring is quite limited. So he struggles to get into this high-end range, which, you know, technically you could say that we're maybe asking for a little bit too much for a 60p player, but that's the kind of level of thinking that we need to be applying for every single player, really. Because if we pick up this type of player, how often is he going to deliver for us? And there's probably too many times where if he doesn't get a decisive, we're going to struggle. Look, he's not that type of defender that can really get you scores of 60, 70 points without a decisive. He's too decisive dependent, actually, as a defender. Yeah, too decisive dependent. We don't mind a defender like this, right? That can give us lots of attacking returns, but then when he doesn't give us an attacking return, he still needs to do enough just from his all-round style of play to give us scores of 60 points or more. And what we can see is that he can do it from time to time, but he doesn't do it enough that we could rely on him giving us regular scores of 60 points or more. This guy's a no, actually. He's pretty good for his price point. I think if I wasn't too focused on bringing in someone for the RTG Pauper Podium, then we might actually consider him. But for the RTG Pauper Podium, we really need someone that just offers us more reliable routes. Or 2 goals, and then probably no assists, right? Yeah, no assists either. His tackles the season before were really low. 0.6 on average is far too low. But then again, his duels that he's winning are high, and then his clearances per game are high too. Wow. Again, his possession loss really low. He's making quite a few errors again. So he's been a little bit consistent over the past 2 seasons. So what it kind of means is that this is the type of player where when he's getting these massive scores of 100, it's probably coming down to, like, in that game, he's having a defensive masterclass and he's making a hell of a lot of interceptions, a hell of a lot of duels that he's winning. We click into it here, you can probably see it, right? So the triple here. So the triple indicates that he's made at least 3 tackles, 3 interceptions, and then at least 3 duels won as a net duel won total. So you can see here, look, he made 5 tackles here, which is a beastly. Then he made 5 interceptions, and then he had a net total duels won of 10 plus 10 because he lost 2 and he won 12. That's a big reason why he gets that beastly score. Now, I think actually if we just go back here, his attack will show nothing basically. Look at that. Exactly what I said. His attack will show nothing. He doesn't really offer anything attacking-wise. He's just a beastly defender. And his positioning is good too, look. So we saw that on SofaScore. Just go back here. But on SofaScore, it's also talking about his positioning being very good. So he does have a knack of being in the right positions to stop big chances or big goals being scored. And that's why when you look at someone like Julian Borna, he then has loads of defensive decisives here. Again, he also has lots of negative decisives because he's a little bit error prone, but that high end is really important. I think we might pick him up actually. It's a bit of a shame towards the back end of last season that he was a little bit too in and out of the team. But prior to that, he was a regular and he was scoring like huge scores. His L15 is also 39. Wow, he'd be perfect for Cap 220 really. Again here, if we look at this score, 93, what we're going to find is that again, he's going to be making lots of tackles, lots of interceptions, and lots of duels won. His attack is going to be nothing, basically. They're 3.5. And then again, look, he lost 1 duel, he won 9. He made 2 interceptions, and then his tackles, he made 1 here. If he'd have made another tackle here, then he actually would have got, I think, a triple-double, wouldn't he? Yeah. If he'd have made 1 more tackle, he would have got a triple-double. Good afternoon to Klaus as well. He's so consistent at getting these high-end scores, and he doesn't even need decisives to do it. Cool. All right. I think what we do is we try to pick him up. We can, because he's already got a heart next to his name. I don't think he's in our RTG Pauper Podium. He isn't. Let's add him right now into the watch list. Yes, he's 32. His L15 is a little bit on the higher side than what we would ideally like here. So an L15 of 48 is not bad. We can work with it in a Cap 220. But when you compare his L15 to someone like Borna, right? L15 of 39 is obviously way more attractive. So yeah, we might look at him though. Let's have a quick look at his actual stats, right? On SofaScore. So if we type in Ahmed Ogus, yeah, 30 years old, wow. A lot of activity down that right-hand side. And one of his strengths are ball interceptions as well, which is really good. We like that. That is so busy down that right-hand side, actually. Played 31 games, started in 31, 85 minutes per game. Quite consistent performer, actually. So again, if you see a lot of these green bars on SofaScore, these green bars translate quite nicely into good scores of 60 points or more in Sorare. or at least kind of like mid-50s and above. We have a look at his attacking stats here. Wow, really is not getting involved in having any shots whatsoever, so he's not a goal threat. However, he is pretty good at providing assists and providing like attacking chances. 3 assists is okay. Only 3 big chances created in 31 games, so it's not amazing, but that's okay. Touches is quite a lot. His key passes is an average of 1 per game, which is decent. He's quite accurate with his passing, not as accurate as what we'd like him to be. 78% is good though, which means that when we look at his possession loss should be hopefully under 15 or 16. If it's over 16 or 15, then that's a bit of a problem. His clean sheets, oh God, look at this, guys. Clean sheets of 6, 2.1 interceptions, 2.8 tackles per game, 2.1 clearances, wow. And then he's doing, oh wow. Yes, his possession lost is over 15, which is a bit of a problem. The thing here, though, is that he's actually, the possession lost is not really eating too much into his scoring because of the fact that he is just making so many duels per game and he's winning so many duels. Plus, he's making a lot of tackles, a lot of interceptions. This is actually pretty good. Again, we want to compare it to the season from before. So 26 games played from the season before, 23 started. Again, not a threat at all when it comes to scoring goals. Much more of a provider than a scorer. Again, look, his key passes are roughly 1 per game. He's made, again, 3 big chances created. His touches were a little bit lower, but he did play less games there. And again, he's making loads of tackles. I like to see that from a defender. My defenders, they need to be making lots of tackles. So 2.5 is great, 1.6 is really high. And again, he's winning a lot of duels. Possession loss was a lot lower there. Yeah, we like the look of that. That's good. Again, we just want to double check. We can already see actually that his contract status is pretty good. We want to check it here again. And we also just maybe want to see if there's any transfer news that's maybe happening with him. Wouldn't expect it. He's relatively new at the club. Mark Matu, though. Ah, okay. So Mark Matu is a good one here. Now, the reason Mark Matu is a good one, I already have his card, actually, as you can see. His L15 is really low. He's got a defender card, but he kind of plays more as a midfielder, and he is technically more of a midfielder. So what you kind of get with Mark Matu is you get this really high-end scoring because he does a lot of attacking returns. He doesn't really do a lot of defensive work, though. And you can see here that, like, towards the back end of last season, his playing time got a little bit sketchy. But when he starts and when he plays, he can usually deliver some consistent mid-range scoring and above. If we take this here, for example, this 72 score, right? He has an AA of 37.32. What you'll see is that, like, defensively, this is okay, but this is not great. And then possession-wise, it's not great either. So a lot of his scoring is happening in attack. Look at that. So this is the type of defender that we could look at maybe to be a bit different here, where we're then going to be relying on this player hitting some huge scores by just being an attacking beast rather than a defensive beast. If we look at this score here, what you'll find as well is that, look, again, defensively, look, nothing. Nothing at all. So he's a defender card that does nothing defensively. Possession-wise is not good either, because he usually loses more duels than he wins. But then attacking-wise, he's a monster attacking-wise. So he's a bit of a higher risk, higher reward type defender. You can see here, again, look. If we take this as an example, 80 score with no decisive whatsoever, right? But then when we look into it, defensively, done nothing, right? Possession-wise, done nothing. All of his scoring is coming in attack. So that's the type of player that we're looking at here. Very different from the other defenders that we were just looking at. Scores very different, achieves those scores in a different way. But if we look at this type of player, it's probably going to give us just more flexibility with hitting these huge scores. Now, he does have a contract as well with them for another year, I think. I'm going to double check it. And as I say, I've already picked him up because I like the high end that you get for a card like this that costs 60p. You can see here, look, his contract runs out next year. He has nothing defensively, but he's very good at getting involved in attacking returns. Had quite an underwhelming season, to be fair. Only 2 goals and 4 assists last season, but his overall record is actually pretty good. You can see that here, look. 27 goals, 46 assists in 406 games. It's actually not too bad. Could be a lot better, of course, right? But quite like the high upside we get from this type of guy. This is the type of player that is not going to have any AA really, although he has delivered 8.8. But I think realistically we shouldn't expect him to be delivering that. It is good that he has been delivering that though. But I think most of the time when he doesn't get a decisive, he's going to score like this, right? Like less than 40. I think he's worth a punt actually. For like 40p or less, or Pookie, there's so much we need to do here to make sure that we can finish in the top 50% and finish really high in the top 50% to then earn the best rewards we can. So let's just quickly look at match day 5 here. This is in the MLS League, guys. Now, the way that it works in Pookie is you need to finish in the top 50%, which is incredible. It's very easy to do. You don't need to be a super predictor in order to do it, and you don't even need to get 100% correct scores to finish in the top 50%. If you look on the screen right now, you can see my predictions for match day 5, which is the live game week in the MLS League, right? Now, what it shows you is that we've only got 2 correct score predictions, right? As in, we only got the prediction 100% correct. Because we said here it would be 1-1, and it was 1-1. We said here it would be 3-1, and it was 3-1. So we only got 2 100% correct score predictions. The rest of the other games, right, we've been quite consistent at getting partially correct predictions. So, for example, you can see here that we said it would be 3-2 to Portland against Dallas, right? It wasn't 3-2 at all. The final score was 1-0. So we were miles off on our goals prediction here. However, because we did predict that the home team would win, and the home team did win, we still get some points here, right? And that's what I love about Pookie, is that it's very rewarding, even if you don't get things 100% correct. So, for example, here, we said that it would be 2-1 to New England. The final score was 3-1, so we were 1 goal away from getting a 100% correct score prediction. However, because we said that there would be over 2.5 goals, and there was actually 4 goals, so again, the actual scoreline was over 2.5 goals, we get that part of the prediction right, and we also then said that New England would win the game, and then New England did win the game. So we get even more boosted points, even though we don't get the full points here. So you can see that we've actually been quite accurate, partially, with most of our predictions, right? There's only been, at the moment, 2 games where we got nothing right. This one here, where we said that LA would beat Houston 2-1, and they didn't. They actually lost 1-0. So again, the home team didn't win. It was the away team, so we miss out on the points there. Was it over 2.5? No, it wasn't over 2.5 goals. It was under 2.5, and we didn't get the correct score either. So we get 0 points there because we got nothing right from the 3 possible kind of outcomes that you can predict for in a game. It's exactly the same here. Look at this one. For, again, Portland. So Portland against San Jose Earthquakes. We said that Portland would win 3-2. There were no goals scored in this game. The actual final score was 0-0. So we got nothing right on that. We said that there would be over 2.5 goals. There was under 2.5 goals. We said that the away team would win. They didn't win. It was a draw. So we get nothing right there. We get 0 points. Those are the only 2 games that have really let us down here. And we are currently sitting in the leaderboard 37th out of 465. We've got a really good chance to finish in the top 20, maybe even the top 10. And that will give us an amazing chance to earn some great rewards here. Because the higher you place up, right, the more Matic, so the more crypto that you can earn. So if we can finish in this category here from 8th to 13th, then we would get somewhere between 8.28 to 12.94 Matic, and we'd get a load of POC coins as well. And the POC coins we really need, because we don't have any POC really at the moment. We've got 0.099. We need a hell of a lot of POC if we're going to keep leveling up our rare Pokeball, which costs a lot to level up. So we really need to try and finish here and above. If we finish kind of 14th to 23rd, that actually won't be too bad. I just want to see if we can get into the top 20, basically, because if we can get into the top 20, then that will be our best finish ever in Pookie. And what you can see as well, guys, is that if we take it back here, the leaderboard ranking shows you your boosted rank and your unboosted rank. Now, the boosted rank is the one that matters, not the unboosted one. All the filter does here, when you look at the base, right, is it just shows you how everybody would score if they didn't have a Pokeball, right? So if nobody was using their Pokeballs to boost their scores, right, so everyone was just predicting without a Pokeball, we would actually be sitting 51st in the league. But because you have to use a Pokeball to predict and to boost your scores, because we are using a rare Pokeball, the rare Pokeball is massively boosting us up the rankings to 37th, which is why you can see there is such a demand for the Pokeballs that are rare, that are epic, that are legendary, because they give you bigger boosts, right? The higher scarcity and the higher rarity you go. And that's why the rares are selling out really quickly. Let's see how many rares are left, actually. There's only 9 rares available. There's only 4 epics available. So everyone is clocking on to the fact that you want to be picking up a rare and an epic, or even a legendary if you can afford it, because then it's going to massively boost you up the leaderboards here to allow you to earn even more crypto. I really don't like the New York Red Bulls team. I can't back New York Red Bulls. I'm not going to do it, guys. I'm going to be backing Charlotte FC here for sure. I think when we looked into this yesterday, it doesn't look like there's going to be lots of goals scored here. Even 2-1 is a bit of a stretch. It could easily be like a 1-1 or like a 1-0 potentially to New York, because they are that type of team that can squeeze a 1-0. The problem is that when we look at 1-1 here, 1-1 is worth only 203 points. 1-0 is worth only 155. And I honestly don't want to back New York. I feel like there's more value to back Charlotte here and just try to be a bit different. And we're going to need Charlotte to win this game, actually, to give us points like this so that we can try to get into the top 10 with these 2 remaining games. So I think we are going to keep it like this. The only thing is, look, even though we get minus 10%, right, from a penalty deduction here, it's still going to be the ball that gives us the most amount of points, isn't it? Our common gives us 425. This one gives us 413. That one gives us 411. So it gives us 466. This guy could be the one, actually. Because when he's started, he's done quite well. Let's have a look at this guy, actually. I want to see a bit more about what's going on here. He's 33. He's not really played a lot over the L15, L40. Okay. Yeah, new arrival, centre forward, right? 11 goals in 21 is fantastic. 1 assist, right? Previously at Brøndby, Hajduk split. RNK split as well. Decent teams there. Debrecen as well. Let's have a look at his overall goal scoring record. 84 in 303 is not bad, but it's also not amazing, right? You can tell where he went wrong, as in like where his performances dropped when he was at RNK split. 19 goals in 114 games is really not good for a forward. 12 in 22 for Isha, though, is excellent. He might have actually found his the right spot for him. Let's have a look at his performance. We have a look at his performance over the past season since he's joined them. Yeah, his finishing is his strength. So he's played 21. He started in 17. He got 11 goals. He's getting 2.3 shots off per game with 1.2 on target. That is excellent. He also scored a free kick. It looks like he's on free kicks. Also looks like he's on penalties. Look, he's on penalties as well. This is attractive. 0.6 key passes. Good, and this guy is also not too bad either. As a central attacking midfielder, this guy can hit some high scores and has done it in the past before. Quite like this guy, actually. I don't think there's many cards of him either. There's only 342. This guy could be a useful one to consider, actually. Let's have a quick look at Mijo, Katkas. Right, so if we go on to Transfermarkt here, not Transfermarkt, we go on to SofaScore, sorry. Let's have a quick look at him. Because I like the fact that he's playing as that attacking midfielder. Look, he's also taking corners as well. So that's pretty good. That's going to increase his ability to get decisives. Previously at Rubin Kazan, Hajduk Split, Damak. He's got some good teams there. He's knocking on a little bit at 33, but we can work with that. He got 8 goals last season in 29 games, which is good. His shots per game is huge, 1.9. And his shots on target, 0.7, is very good, actually, for a player that's not a forward, as in not a striker. 2 free kick goals as well. I like this guy. Key passes a little bit low. It's lower than the 1, but it's not too far off. 3 assists. Touches is quite low, actually. Passing's good. Making some tackles as well. That would help boost his scoring a little bit. How does that compare to the season before? Only played 13 games the season before. It's got to be for a different team though, isn't it? Quick look. Yeah, it's for a different team, isn't it? Well, actually, is it? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it is. But he got 5 goals. Wow, in 13 games. That's very interesting. 1.2 key passes. Okay. Let's have a quick look at this guy. See what his contract status is like. Yeah, he's got a long-term contract there as well. Cool, I like this guy. I like what I'm seeing. Stats by club. Wow. Huge amount of goals. All right, we're committing. We've seen it. So, yeah, it's been quite an interesting one. We spent a lot of time doing scouting. We also were able to get our predictions in on Pookie for the next match day, which is about to start today. How many Pokeballs are left now? We had a look at this earlier, didn't we? Look at that. The Epics are sold out. The Rares are sold out. There's only 185 Commons. And there's 2 Legendaries left. So pretty cool. All right, guys. That's it for today. We will be back again tomorrow at 12 p.m. UK time. We'll be doing some more scouting. We'll also be doing a little bit of lineup building. I'll probably be trying to sell more cards as well, so I can continue to do the rare rebuild. So potentially we'll be doing some scouting for the rare rebuild tomorrow. So yeah, make sure you tune in tomorrow. Enjoy the under 21 Euros tonight. I certainly will be. And maybe we can exchange some player ideas tomorrow from any players that we spot that have done really well tonight. Thank you so much for the incredible support, as always, guys, on the streams, including the subs. And yeah,